Hello, my name is Yorgos Berveskos, and this is my dev commentary for CGT 255, my final project. So, this is our game, and my contributions to this level of the game, I did all of the modeling and texturing of the assets. I also created the user interface, the HUD. I also created all the effects, that pickup there, the doors. I also added all the sound effects. Now, at this stage in the game, our plan was that you would interact with one of these terminals, and that would transport you to a hacking minigame, which you would first have to beat before you could open the door. Unfortunately, we never got that implemented in properly, so you can see you can just walk straight through the doors. This level was intended to kind of get players used to the idea of hacking into items and getting a result from that, but since we were unable to get that done in time, it's simply a space for players to explore the other mechanics of the game, such as collecting items and just getting used to the general movement of the character. So over the course of this project, I've learned a lot about game development, and I've actually learned a lot about myself too. I started out mainly interested in the visuals and the art of video game design, but through doing this project, I've also become very interested in the game design itself and the layout of levels. I was also the main level designer for this project. I really enjoyed experimenting with different sound effects for different interactions. Here we reach the end of the level. You open this door and you can enter into an elevator. Now this elevator would in theory transition you to the second level of our game. We don't have that functionality worked out, but I will be showing you that as well. So here we have the second level. This is the elevator that the player entered in the previous level, and this one exits out into a desert level. Now, I was responsible for the creation of and texturing of all the art assets in this level except for the enemies and the player character herself. I also did all of the level design and placing of those assets. So as you can see, we have this lock-on function that I implemented so that the player always faces the nearest target. And this function can be toggled off and on, as you can see. Player also has a shield that she can generate that renders her impervious to attacks. And once the enemies die, they leave these pickups that can be used to either regenerate the player's physical health or her energy levels. Now her energy levels is the white bar and her physical health is the black bar. Both of them are very important because if either one reaches 0, then the character will die. Another thing I implemented in this level is these tumbleweeds. They're physics objects, so you can kind of push them around. You can also hit them with their plasma cannon and they will light on fire. They actually will do damage, a significant amount of damage to the enemies as well as to the character if they should run into these ignited tumbleweeds. If the character wanders this way into this open sand dune region, character may notice these dead enemies. This is kind of signify that there might be some sort of danger out here. Now, the danger is that the character's core temperature will begin to rise once she enters this desert region. This is due to the beating sun raising the core temperature. As you can see, that number up there is going up. It's right now at 66, and if that number reaches 135, the character will die. So the player will get a warning once the temperature reaches 90 degrees that the CPU is overheating. If they heed this warning, they can head back to the relative safety of the canyon, where the shade will keep the processor from overheating. Probably one of the toughest challenges I faced while putting all of this together was just the large amount of programming, scripting that was required to get it all to function properly. I was able to overcome this challenge just by kind of breaking it down, doing it piece by piece, worrying about one thing then the next instead of, taking it all on at the same time. A lot of print strings were used to, feed me back results, make sure everything was working properly, seeing where things were failing. So just kind of that trial and error of working things through, and also visiting a lot of office hours, getting my TA Brantley's advice on a lot of things. That was very helpful. So yeah, taking away from this, probably one of the major things I learned is actually how much I enjoy laying out levels like this. Before doing this project, I'd always kind of had a stronger fancy for creating the art assets in a level and letting other people kind of implement them and place them where they needed to go. But doing this, that was kind of all on me, and I found I really enjoyed it. So I look forward to doing more of that in the future. Speaking of kind of level designs and just game design in general, one of the things I really wanted to do with this game is I wanted to give clear and helpful feedback to the player as to what their actions were doing. And I wanted to do this using auditory and visual cues. So you can see that whenever I hit the enemy with one of my plasma attacks, a small particle explosion occurs inside the enemy, letting me know if I hit them. Now, of course, if I got too far away from them, we wouldn't see that, letting me know that I did not, in fact, hit the enemy. Another thing is the sound cues, where you can hear the boss, his strikes create that metallic ringing sound. Another thing is when you have pickups, they create a kind of a clinking sound that lets you know you've actually successfully picked them up. Another thing is this enemy, as we kind of whittle away at its health. Without a health bar, it could be kind of tough to know how we're doing, how the player's doing. But as we can see, this kind of permanent particle effect has spawned inside the enemy. And this is to let us know that the enemy's health is really getting down there, and we're getting close. Also notice that the character is also now glowing. This is to let us know that she is also damaged. We're getting really close now as the boss is really starting to glow. More flash should probably finish him off. There we go. So this leaves us one last item to pick up. You can hear that satisfying clink. That's letting us know that we were successful. And we over here to this speeder. There's some pickups for the player. Replenish some lost health. And now, there we go. That's it, pretty much. Thank you for watching. It's really fun putting this all together. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you.